I actually enjoy doing the ministries that I do. I'm going to start again. I'm Robert. I'm a father. I work full time.
I'm Jevin Chu, 19 this year. I'm currently a third-year student in Nyan studying architecture.
Hey, I'm Min. I'm a mom to Ethan. I'm a full-time accountant, but I've been on maternity leave the past year.
I'm Sally Choi, member of Jurong Church.
My name is Anthony Jude. People call me Jude in the church.
And I have various ministries in the church as well. I take on the PA. I help to teach the young adults, help with young family ministries now, the Sabbath School Council, and deacon duty as well. Yeah.
My ministries at church are that I do PowerPoint, and I also do cooking for our care group at home.
I'm a youth leader for the youth ministry. I help out in video ministry. I help out with worship coordinator. I help out in Sabbath School, CQ. To most people, when they hear architecture, it's quite difficult. It's tiring, like we have many sleepless nights. It's stressful. So as an architecture student, I guess like you get used to not sleeping a lot. So that's a normal. But as a youth leader, firstly there's cell group. Our main roles as youth leaders and as cell leaders is to build relationships with our youth, with our cell members. So we try to spend like time outside church. It makes me feel like, okay, I'm being a friend to them just like Jesus did.
I'm a deaconess, so I help to coordinate the culinary, the lunch on Sabbath. Every quarter, I have to prepare the duty roster for both the deaconess and the culinary team. For the lunch coordination, I start ordering the food on Thursday. Sometimes I have to make trips to the wet market. So by Friday morning, all the food will be in, and then the team will come on the Friday night to prepare, and then Sabbath we will more or less, lunch is in good hands. Yeah.
My day job is I'm a CTO for British Telecom. So most of my customers are in the region, and I travel every week, almost. And I have been traveling for the last 15 years. In addition to that, I also enjoy being the Pathfinder Director for Singapore Adventist Conference. I'm also the Director for the Idoro Pathfinder Club at the Jurong Adventist Church.
As a deaconess, we also have to do visitation, going to the hospital to visit our members who are not well. We also bring them communion service, if it's communion time. Yeah.
So I guess some of the struggles that we have are, I think, just around time, especially with the first 12 months. You're on very little sleep, dealing with a baby.
And besides physically tiring, it is quite mentally challenging as well, because some of them have like certain problems that we have to deal with, and we have to like find time outside church and outside of our own free time to like spend time with them. I'm always afraid of like how I'm going to manage school and church and all these other ministries together. I always pray like to God to give me strength, and I have no idea how I'm able to manage it, but I guess by God's strength and by God's power, I somehow manage.
In fact, with my travels, I travel most of the time Monday morning or Tuesday morning, and come back on Friday nights. So it has been always a challenge, especially with two young kids.
I mean, I think one of the biggest ways that we cope, I think, is through help from our church family, especially when if our duties collide or come together on a Saturday where we need extra help. Often one of the aunties usually is kind enough to take him and kind of whisk him away to look after him. Yeah.
If you look at the Gospels, there's this thing called the Great Commission, and when I look at it, Jesus is always talking to his disciples that your job as a disciple and as a Christian is to always go forth. And it's a reminder to myself that the reason why I do ministry, the reason why I do anything is because I've been called to do so.
I think if you're doing a ministry out of a sense of, duty and commitment, I think that's okay, but I think what's even better is doing a ministry out of enjoyment. And it's totally possible, like with a almost 1 year old, the time commitments are tough, but it's still possible.
Some people are really worried because they are busy, they don't want to come and serve the ministry. But what I want to say is that make time, and not just pathfinding. You can basically be part of any ministry, and I'm sure that you can do wonders to this church.
I'm blessed, to come to this church, and I want to serve God, and I want to show my love for God, do a small part in this church, do my duty. Whether the duty is in the public eye or not in the public eye, we serve from our heart. Just like the way we want to love the Lord with all our heart and all our soul.
In fact, when our children were born, I wanted to basically stop the pathfinder, serving in the pathfinding. I have lost many officers in such circumstances, and there are various other challenges that I have been hearing, and I have gone through all of them. My children see me as a pathfinder leader. So what keeps me going is to ensure that I continue to do my best to the church and best to the community as such, and then so that basically shows myself as an example for them to learn from. My daddy was like this, so I also want to be like that.
When I was a young Christian, my children were in this kindergarten, and I come on a weekday, and I saw a church member on a weekday. They do things for the church. Like those were the days our lunch chairs are all painted chairs, and members will come on a weekday and paint it. They are so sincere in the way they do things, and always motivating and inspiring the newcomers like me.
I think what makes me still want to continue with ministry after Ethan arrived is that it's the connection and the relationships we have with people in the church. And I think because we really want Ethan to grow up as a God-fearing Christian who will give back to his community, we want him to see that that's a big part of our lives, so that he can, do that in his life.
If you need help, if you struggle with something, pray. Like trusting in God, it's one of the most difficult things in life. If you have faith, do so, right? And I'm sure God will somehow make things happen. I mean, He's a God that He does wonders. He makes impossible things possible. So no matter what you're struggling with, whether it's being burnt out or you're struggling to find a reason, right? Always look to God. Always go back to Him, and I'm sure He'll make a way.